Hi, so now that I've let my grout dry for a little bit, all that's left is running a couple beads of silicone. What the silicone does, protects the bottom row of the tile from letting water get past it and around the countertop, which would cause mildew, mold, whatever behind the backsplash. So I've got my silicone here. I'm going to be running a nice small bead along the bottom here. And then I'm also going to run a bead down the side of this wood. Now the type of silicone that I use is called translucent white. Common mistake when you're siliconing is to grab silicone that's clear, and then if you grab the one that's clear, you can see right through it and you can see the imperfection behind it. Translucent white is clear, but it's got a little bit of a foggy tinge to it, so you can't see through it. So I'll show you an example of it on this wood down the side here, where you can see that there's a black gap between the cabinet and the side of the casing. If I would run over top of it with clear, you'd still see the black line behind. If I run over the top with translucent white, then you can't see through it. So anyways, to start, got to cut the top off your silicone. Now depending on the size bead that you want to apply, in my case I want to apply a real small bead, and in most cases you're going to want to apply a small bead, and if you need to, come back and do it a second time. You need to cut this tip on a 45-degree angle and really close to the tip so that you have a small amount of silicone that comes out at a time. So I'm just going to cut a super small fine tip and load that back on my caulking gun. Okay, so I should be ready to go here. One method is to run some tape to protect your countertop. If you're new at siliconing, that's what you're going to want to do, is run some tape on the top and the bottom, creating the voided space that you want. Then you can run your silicone bead and then pull your tape off, and you should have a nice clean finish. What I like to do, and it's a little bit faster, is I like to run a small bead and just run my finger across it gently and not make a total mess of it. So I don't really need to do the taping. I just use a very small amount of silicone as I'm applying it down. So anyways, so we're gonna get started. So just gonna take a damp cloth, make sure all the grout particles are off that edge. Here's my silicone ready to go. Now you'll see here I'm applying a very small bead. There it comes, real small bead. Now if you go slow and you cut the tip of your caulking gun perfect, it almost appears like you don't even have to tool it with your finger. Now if you got a bunch of caulking bubbling up in front of it as you're going, you're squeezing your trigger too hard, it's applying far too much adhesive or silicone, and you're gonna have problems. Okay, so got it to there. Now I've got to tool the silicone, so I like to use a little dish soap. An old method would be, lots of carpenters will lick their finger or use saliva. You're not really supposed to get silicone back into your mouth. So you can see here by putting the soap on my finger, it's made the silicone repel against my finger, and I'm able to tool this into a nice cove joint. And I'll get one more. Okay, and that's basically, there's the extra on my finger. Just use a paper towel, So that's the extra that came off as I was wiping it. Paper towel, get that off. And I'm just going to show you guys a nice close-up of the bead. Okay, so you can see here between the cabinet and the casing of the window, I've got a fine black line. Now, I could have used a white silicone, but then when it went on the side of the cabinet, it would leave a white line down there. I could use a clear silicone, but then again, I will see that black line through it. So I've got my translucent white, and I'm just going to show you how when you put a bead of that over top, you can't see transparent through it, so I will not see that black line. Got my dish soap. So now you can see here that you can't really see through the silicone, and that's cleaned up that joint perfectly, that the homeowner should be happy with the result.